Alright, so I may or may not have caved on this one. Today we will be going over my first impressions of Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme. Okay, so I've never been to a Burlington coat factory. There's never been one really around me until as of late when I moved to where I'm living now. And with a lot of other YouTubers, they tend to get their discounted fragrances at rack stores such as TJ Maxx and Burlington Coat Factory, which I didn't know that was basically another branch of a TJ Maxx type of place. But the more you know. So I went in yesterday and I found this guy on a table that said it was $10. And I did not buy it, but I couldn't get my mind off it because I love the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, and I went back today and found it on sale for $8. So I guess they're trying to get rid of it. But while I was there, I did see they had the exact same fragrance, but for $25. But the reason mine was $8 was because mine had already been opened out of the plastic, and basically some people may have gotten, 12 sprays worth of samples to begin with. I guess it was my lucky day to say, you know what, I can get over 12 sprays for a highly discounted designer brand quality fragrance. And for the sake of me doing my first impressions video, I have yet to smell this. I don't know what it smells like. I do know what the Fragrantica reviews say it smells like, which I can put right here if that does help. But my nose has not smelled this yet, so here we go, first impressions. First one. All right, so let's start with the box as always. This is the box, Salvatore Ferragamo, as you can hear. He is in there. As I said, this one is just called Pour Homme. And for those people who may not know this already, which I'm sure there is a lot of you who do, but for those who don't know, Pour Homme basically is just another way of saying for men. In fact, it is basically for men in French. See, check that out. Pour Homme for men. And on the back, it just gives you the details of the product, gives you the website, different things you can check out, all that good stuff. This is a quality brand, so when you find it for $25, typically, again, I found mine for $8. This is a quality packaged product, very good paper lining box, quality product. All right, let's do this. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so the bottle, ooh, very reflective. Let's see if I can get this. The bottle is actually curved. I don't know if you can see that's twisted, which is really cool. Though, if I'm being honest, it's very simple, I don't have a bottle that looks like it, but to me, to a certain degree, it does feel like they just ran out of ideas of how to make another bottle look unique, and they just said, let's twist it. Because that's really the only thing that stands out offhand. As you see, it does say Salvatore Ferragamo and raised letters on the side right here. I would not hold this by the cap because it is basically there just to cover the atomizer. And as you see, Salvatore Ferragamo. And there's the atomizer. Now I will say something that is always promising about Salvatore Ferragamo products is that their atomizer is always incredible. Great atomizer. Okay, so right off the top, you're gonna get a very heavy wood and green note. It is very green, and I'm not sure because I haven't worn this completely yet throughout the day to really give it a proper judgment, but I feel like that's gonna be very aromatics based, which I like. I like fragrances that are aromatic versus just projection monsters. So in terms of my taste, that's gonna be great. See what it smells like in the air. Oh yeah, lots of wood. I think fig. I think that's fig. It actually makes me think of another fragrance I got. Give me 1 second. Okay, so you have probably seen me talk about this. If not, I will link it up here somewhere to where you can see where I've talked about it. And what this is Michael Kors Extreme Speed. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. So this is Extreme Speed, this is Ferragamo Pour Homme. Okay, so while I've said in the past that Extreme Speed does smell like it belongs to an older gentleman, hence why I've not put the world's biggest dent in the bottle to begin with since I've had it, Ferragamo Pour Homme is almost like that version of that fragrance that belongs to the 20 and 30-year-olds versus the 40s and 50s and onward age ranges. Because they take the wood, the fig, the one that Extreme Speed has, that is very prominent, the one that gives it its very distinct older man smell, lowers it down and replaces it with a sort of sweet vibe to it, resulting in a younger smelling audience. Yeah, I'm already gonna tell you, I'm gonna bust through this thing. And I may be wrong, I wanna say that's some African geranium, cedar, and vetiver. And I'm starting to get out of the initial spray, but I'm definitely starting to get some leather offhand too. But if I'm being completely honest, this is a very masculine smell. By no stretch of the imagination can anyone say that this is gonna be even a potential metrosexual smell, as some people might call it. This is definitely a fragrance for a manly man type person. Someone who wears the flannel, wears the jeans, tucks in that flannel, and looks like he has a hatchet on his shoulder type. This is not gonna be for the skinny jean, Converse type stereotype. You see where I'm getting at? Nothing wrong with that type of stereotype, but I just don't see this being on that type of person. Each fragrance does have its own audience, therefore I'm just saying that will not belong to that type of person. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what you can and cannot wear. If you like this, you do you. But this is an incredibly manly man, no time for crap type scent. But for a 20s and 30-year-old audience, this may smell too mature for a high schooler type. Yeah, 100% that would smell too mature for a high schooler. It would smell like he's trying to smell older than what he is, which ultimately will, in retrospect, de-age him to a degree. So obviously I can't rate it off of longevity, if I can't rate it off of projection, even though that projection, obviously being relatively fresh, is pretty solid. I wouldn't call it an absolute projection beast, but it's projecting enough to say that if I put it on, people would smell me without being overwhelmed. So I can't rate the longevity, but for the first spray on, which I would assume may potentially be for the first hour, I'm gonna give that projection an easy 7.5 out of 10, because it does project, but it doesn't exactly punch people in the face, which is good. So actually I'm gonna bump that up to 8 out of 10, because 7.5 seems like I'm just being rude to it when it has no reason to be rude, acted rude to. This actually might be a very good, ideal, user-friendly projector. And in terms of the scent, I'm gonna give that a very solid 8.5 out of 10 because I love this scent so much, but I'm too young to wear it, that I do feel with Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme that I finally do have an option to wear it while also smelling my age, therefore I'm just really happy about that. So for my personal taste, that's easily gonna be the score I gave it. And as I said, I can't really give you the longevity because I haven't worn it all day, which I will put down in the comments if I remember to update a longevity score. But for now, I'm gonna have to stick with the projection and the scent. I'd give this an overall score of probably 8.5. I know that's not what that averaging score would be, but I'm very happy with this, especially going into that fall time. This is gonna be a compliment beast, I'm going to say, in the fall. And maybe too woody and too harsh for the summer air, because the summer air will project it much more than what it should be, and since it is wood, it will ride in the nose a little differently than the average fresh smell. But spring and fall, and definitely winter, I am happy that I found this, as fall is about to enter in the next month or so. And I wouldn't say that this will be a formal weather wear, and in terms of what I would use this for, I don't know if I would say this is gonna be for a formal date. Maybe a more casual date. One that might involve a sports jacket, but one that you wear with jeans. I wouldn't call this a 5-star tuxedo suit mashup fragrance. Basically, this is gonna be a jeans type date, but one that will make you stand out because you're not the only one smelling fresh, but you're also smelling very woodsy, very green, and you will have an aromatic vibe to you, which means that you will have a scent trail following you throughout the entire date. I just think they're gonna be for those types of situations, in my opinion. And would I buy this again? I always ask that question. As of right now of this video, without having worn it for an entire day, getting people's reactions outside of my own, I'm gonna say that I probably would buy this again, especially if it was $8. But for the fact that I don't know what people say and I don't know what people are going to think about this, and say if this was traditionally $25 in a rack store, yes, I would probably buy it without knowing anyone else's opinions yet, but I would easily suggest this to another man to give it a shot, especially for the price, because Salvatore Ferragamo is an incredible designer fragrance. They make great fragrances, great products, where quality is the main key, and with the two other Ferragamo fragrances that I have, which is F Black Pour Homme as well as Uomo Casual Life, their longevity is gonna be great. So to say that that translates to here, I'm gonna hope that I get the best results out of this as well. Long story short, I probably will buy this again unless I get bad reviews from this, which I don't believe I will, because I'll put it right here, the Fragrantica scale. Most people love this and like it in comparison to just completely hating it. Therefore, I have very high hopes for this. As I said, you can buy this at a rack store. I found mine at Burlington. You might find yours at TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls, that sort of thing. And you will probably find it in the $25 range unless your box is opened and people probably stole 12 squirts out of it already. But $25 average, but I wish you well on finding a cheap version of it. And that is my review on Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed my first impressions video of Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme. If you liked my first impressions and video, please let me know. I can do some more. If you want me to do a first impression of any other fragrance, let me know. Like and subscribe down below and hit that notification bell. And as the world it is today, please be careful. Do what you can to keep yourself and others safe. And I'll see you next time.